everybody. Hi, how's everybody doing today on this bright Thursday? How's everybody doing? I was saying earlier about how I'd watched on my way to Blaze at the gym. I'd watched all the little children walking to school this morning in their World Book Day outfits, which was great, but it was great for me knowing that I don't have to do that anymore. So yeah. Okay, so today we are talking about fear, the dreaded dream killer, and how to just stop letting fear get the better of you. And this is a really important one. It really is the dream killer. It's what stops us achieving our highest potential. It's usually what stops you taking that very next step right now. So if you're here live, just pop a hey in the comments so that I know that you're here and we can have a chat. And if you're catching up on a replay later, just put a hashtag a replay. Hey Lorraine, hi Auntie Lolly, how are you doing? Okay, so fear then, we can all get through life, can't we, without fear, But if we want to grow, we have to feel that fear and do it anyway, move forward and push through. Because if we're not growing, we're dying, as the saying goes. So thank God for fear in that way. So what's the biggest thing that you're afraid of right now? What's the fear that you all have? You never get stronger if you do easy things. So what is it that's actually going on with you right now? And I want to start off by saying that everybody has fear. That anxious feeling, worried that something bad might happen, that churning in your stomach and what have you, or being petrified when you've got to speak in public. That helpless feeling, imagining you're not succeeding. Who has it? We all have it. So every leader, every athlete, every performer, every business person, every person that you know and admire, they all experience fear. Everyone moving into a new territory will feel it. It doesn't matter how much experience, how much fame or success that you have, you will always feel fear. I went to an event for Denise Duffield Thomas in October. She's somebody that I really look up to. She's very inspirational. And, she talked about the fear that she feels before every single launch. Now, her Money Bootcamp has been running for years now. It's hugely successful, but she still has fear when she's launching. So the point of that is, I don't want you to be waiting for that day to arrive when you no longer feel that fear. Or feel afraid before you take any action, because it really isn't going to happen. Hi Joe, nice to see you here. One thing that I've definitely found now running my own business is that fear raises its head almost on a daily basis. If not by, not on a minute by minute basis, and that can range from kind of a mild flutter in my stomach to full on panic and absolute terror. So, everybody, when you're faced with something new and that opportunity to grow, it's really normal. It's normal to feel, hesitant and unsure because you're stepping into the unknown. So the first thing is that everybody experiences, no matter where you're from, what walks of life, where you're at, everybody has that feeling of fear. The problem comes when fear takes hold of you and stops you moving forward. It's when that self-doubt raises its head and we can go into a spiral. We can go into a spiral of overwhelm and doubt and lack of confidence, feeling like we just can't do anything, that we're not good enough. Got those little voices in our heads that are saying that we're just not good enough to do whatever, the idea is that you want to do. And everything builds up to a point there where you actually stop, you don't take any action. And we can actually go round and round in circles on here, because when fear does take hold, that's where you go into not actually doing anything, actually procrastinating, filled with so much overwhelm that you just don't do anything. Never mind, a couple of things on your to-do list. You literally stop. So just pop some notes in the comments there. Just let me know what sort of feelings that you have when fear comes up for you. When fear has taken its grip on you. How does that show in your body? What are the feelings that you actually get when fear has sort of made its grip on you? I've actually been burning some sage again this morning, so the room is full. I'm going to have to just have a quick drink there. So yeah, just pop any notes in there and just let me know how these feelings show up for you. How much has fear and doubt and all of those types of feelings, how much has it hindered you in the last couple of months? When have you wanted to do something and you've stopped doing something that you want to do because of these feelings that you have coming up? How much has it hindered you? Just pop a note in the comments there of what it is, and what has it stopped you doing? What has it actually stopped you doing? Because when we're in this spiral of fear and doubt, we can't do anything. You almost give up on doing what you want to do. And we take on the role of victim when we're like that. We become that you can't do anything, and you start blaming other things on it. So we have to start regaining control. We have to refocus and start taking control there. So let's just have a look at some really simple tricks that we can do to gain the control back. And the first thing is this misunderstanding about fear, that it's the enemy, that it's the bad guy. It's the big monster standing between you and your dreams. It's a misunderstanding. Just what about if you flipped that around and said it's just a natural reaction, a natural emotion to actually serve us? It's actually there to help us. There's a bit of a thought, isn't it? There's a thought. So fear communicates to us in the only way she knows how to. The ability to make you feel. And it sends an alarm out to get your attention, to get you to pay attention. So facing the fear is the only way to get rid of fear. Taking action. It takes you out of your comfort zone so that you can refocus and get that control back. Now the trick is to actually allow yourself to feel the fear and be guided by it whilst you are taking action. So, make that call even if your hands are shaking, or, go speak even when your voice is quaking. Do that Facebook Live even if your stomach is churning. Because the irony is that doing the thing that you're fearful of, is so much easier than the terror that we inflict upon ourselves. The stressing over it in our head that goes round and round and round in our head. So actually doing the thing is so much easier than actually what goes on in our head thinking about doing the thing. And doing it, the fear will be gone. With the added bonus then of feeling empowered, of feeling fabulous, and coming through there. Is that gone? Can you hear that? So yeah, by doing this, the fear will actually be gone, and by taking that action, you're suddenly feeling fabulous. Because you've done it. You've gone through it. You've pushed through. So just feel that relief right now. That it's gone. So pushing through the fear is less such a less frightening option. Just think about that now. Just think about it. Feeling scared all the time is worse than just pushing through this fear just the one time, taking action just the one time. So see your fear as your friend. You know, that your ally, that's, you know, the one that's got your back there, that's just giving you a sign. Now, one of the key differences, you know, kind of between humans and all of the rest of the animal kingdom is our ability to feel emotions. Now, they enrich our lives, don't they? They guide our choices, and they do also make life quite complicated because we've got to try and decipher them. So listen to what the message is that's coming through. What is this fear trying to tell you? You know, because whenever you think of that idea, whenever you think of what it is that you want to do, that thing that you're thinking about in your head, you are going to feel scared, aren't you, to start off with? You're going to feel fearful and anxious. So the issue is when we interpret those emotions in the wrong way. You know, they're there to just guide us, you know, as a marking point, get our attention. But if we take those feelings to mean danger, which we often do, we often kind of go, right, I'm feeling fearful, I'm feeling anxious, right, I've got to stop. I've got to stop and not move ahead. You know, and then the voices in our head are going into overdrive. They are trying to justify and rationalise these feelings and our reaction to those feelings. You know, by, you know, the voice starts going, you can't do that. You know, why can't you be satisfied with what you've got? Why do you want to try and go after something else? You know, you'll never make any money. It's a rubbish idea. So all of these things start going in. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Does that sound familiar? Because what do we do when we hear all of those things? That's when we stop. That's when we stop. And it's the wrong thing to do. Because remember that these are just trying to get us our attention. It's not saying just stop. Because what happens there, when we let that fear take control, that's when we don't take any action. We stay in our safe zone. So let's just flip that just for a moment. And I just want you to ask yourself here the what if question. You know, what if the signal was in fact not danger at all? It was actually a sign to go for it. You know, it's your unconscious mind screaming at you, yes, 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 go for it. Hi, Brooke, nice to see you here. You know, it's actually shouting at you. It's not a danger, stop it sign. It's actually saying, go for it. This is a great idea. Go ahead and do what it is that you want to do. It's the best thing for you. So fear has done its job there. It sent you the signal. It sent you a signal. Hi, Brooke. It sent you that signal. And it's usually the more scared we are, is that surefire signal that it is something that we have to do. It's obviously so important to us. You know, we're getting a clear message there, a clear direction. It's like that, you know, the GPS, the satellite signal, just pointing, you know, shouting at us. And just think about it. If it's really generating this much energy for us, then it's clearly an idea in your heart that's provoking so much of a reaction. So isn't it something to actually explore there? Get curious and listen to what the message is that is being sent to you. You know, just think there, you know, what helpful, positive signal might fear be sending to you? What is it that it's directing you towards? And now I've got another practical tool for you to really question your fear, you know, which we often don't do. We often, like I said, just have these feelings, these emotions, and then we automatically interpret it as a negative. So we automatically just stop what we're doing. We just think there's danger ahead, I can't go ahead with that. And we let those feelings fester. So what I'm going to give you a simple trick here is to investigate the fear more, to actually delve deep into it. And I actually heard a great tip yesterday from one of my mentors, to doubt your doubts. And I just love that because, all of these doubts, these fears, are usually just stories. They're usually just stories. It's time now to peel back the layers, just like an onion. Just peel back the layers now of what it actually means. So the first thing I want you to just do is ask yourself, is there a past experience that has created this fear? Has something happened in the past? Whether it's in your business or in your job or whatever, is there something that's actually happened that's created this fear? And then what I want you to do is, again, think about this fear that you've got and just ask yourself, what's the worst case scenario that could possibly happen if you went ahead with your idea that you've got? With the idea that's causing you this fear. So what's the very, very worst thing? And I want you to really dig into it. Take 15 minutes. Take 15 minutes to do this. And I don't want you to just think it in your head. I want you to write this down. It's actually a really good exercise to go through. So write it down. Actually, really think about what the worst case scenario could possibly be. And then sort of interrogate that in even more, so let's just say, is it losing money? Is it losing your job or losing your business? So then I want you to keep going. Now, what's the worst thing that could happen if that happened? And keep going again, until you almost hit rock bottom. And then I want you to just think about what's actually the likelihood of that worst case scenario actually happening. Just rate the likelihood of it, from 0 to 10. Just rate the likelihood of it happening. And then finally, I want you to imagine your worst nightmare case actually coming true. How are you going to deal with that? Actually do an action plan now. Actually plan it out, map it out. Well, what could you do to actually get yourself back on your feet? What could you do to sort of recover there? And actually map out a plan of, if that happened, I would do this. And create yourself an action plan. Just a point there is that these worst case scenarios are what we call low probability events. Very, very rarely do they actually happen, and they're even less likely to happen if you've then got a plan to deal with it if it did happen. So always know there's something you can do to get yourself back on your feet. There really is always something, and if you've got that plan, you'll know the steps that you can do to get yourself out of it. So now that worst case scenario, I want you to flip it on its head. So that fear now, I want you to flip it on its head and think about the best case scenario. What is the best case scenario of you going forward with this idea that you've got? I want you to list all the benefits. Write them all down, all the benefits of moving forward. Tune into your purpose, your why. Why did you even have the idea in the first place? What are your rewards for doing it? Now, even if you only achieved only half the things on that list, I can guarantee you that the benefits of taking the action will far outweigh the worst case scenario. So doing this exercise will allow you to have a clear path for moving forward, even if you have to tweak your original plan. The point is, you're just not allowing fear to take hold of you and keeping you trapped and keeping you small. Small steps towards big dreams. So what would you have to fear if you can handle anything? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I hope that's been useful for you today. I hope it's given you some really practical tips there to absolutely kick this fear up the butt and get you moving forward. And just wanted to finish off that I am running a fast track online NLP diploma. It's a 5-day online training and it starts on March the 16th. I'll put the links in the comments there, but for just £29, this is a great introduction for NLP and how to use the powerful techniques of NLP to clear up your limitations and give you practical tools to move you forward. What a bargain, £29. It's absolute bargain. Now, if you're already ready to be an NLP practitioner, an NLP coach, an accredited NLP coach, then just remember there's just 24 hours left to get the £200 discount off my next NLP practitioner course that takes place in April. So jump in before the discount disappears. I'd hate you to miss out on the discount for that. So just contact me today for more information. Right, you have a wonderful, wonderful day, guys, and I'll catch up with you again next week. Bye for now.